All right, so we're gonna start with a nice wide stance. So think step your feet about shoulder width distance apart, and then start with that little cat prance. So as you shift your weight from side to side, crunch up your feet, like really curl up your toes, like you're trying to pick something up with the bottoms of your feet. And then just kind of let your hands sort of relax, nice and soft and loose at your side. Take one more little crunch of the feet each side, and then let both feet settle down with a slight bit of softness in your knees. Let your eyes close down or just soften your gaze down at the ground, and then find an even stance here. So it doesn't need to be extreme. You don't need to ground into your feet or any of that kind of stuff, but just feel your weight evenly distributed through both feet. And then let your arms be soft and heavy. And then from this even standing position, before we move or do anything else, take a moment here to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and just treating yourself with love, care, and respect. And then with that intention set, let your awareness come back down to your feet. And then just notice if you have flat feet or have fallen arches, just see if you can pull up from the soles of the feet. Think about pulling your big toe back towards your heel so you find that nice little lift in the arch of your foot. And then soften your toes again, maintaining that nice lift in the soles of your feet. And then we're going to find a little sway side to side. So it might feel like your hips want to lead you first, but then see if you can find this gentle transfer of weight to one foot than the other, but you're keeping both feet on the ground and you're feeling that lift in the arches of your feet. And then see if you can take that sway in any direction your body likes. So it might be front to back, side to side. It might be little circles. It might just be a little random pattern, but allow your body to just kind of move and sway, but feel your feet nice and even on the ground. So you might feel a little movement come out of the knees, the hips, the back, your ankles. And then see if you can find your center location. So find your center again. And then from your center, as you inhale, you're just going to let your shoulders lift up to your ears, a little squeeze in the muscles alongside the neck. And then as you exhale, just let your shoulders soften and melt down. Inhale and let your shoulders lift and squeeze. Exhale, shoulders soften down. One more just like that. Inhale and lift up. Exhale and shoulders soften down. And then we're going to move into the head and the neck. As you inhale, lift your chin upward towards the sky. Eyes open or closed, totally up to you. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest and then feel your feet on the ground. Inhale, lift your chin up towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down to your chest. Notice your feet again. Inhale to lift your chin up. Exhale to tuck your chin down. And then from here, we're going to start to find a little bit of a rolling down sensation. So as you inhale, chin's going to lift, arms are going to lift. And then as you exhale, you're going to tuck your chin down to your chest, bend your knees a lot, float your hands down to the ground. Once you find your way down, we're going to pull the belly button in, roll back up to a standing position, roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees a lot, tuck your chin into your chest, roll down towards the ground. And then pull your abdominal muscles in, roll back up nice and slow, roll your shoulders up to your ears, around, down, and back. One more just like that. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, soften your knees, tuck your chin in, bend your knees a lot, roll all the way down. Inhale and come all the way back up, rolling the shoulders around, down and back. Leave your right hand down on your thigh. Left hand's going to reach up alongside your ear. And from here, we're not going to take it into a small side bend. So it's not going to be extreme. We're not leaning over super far, but you're just going to lift up through the fingertips. Feel your ribs open just a little bit and then bring it right back in. Lift up through the fingertips and then bring it right back in. Lift up through the fingertips and bring it right back in, and then float that hand down and switch sides. Other arm is going to lift up. We're going to lift up, feel that opening in the ribs, and then release. Lift up, feel the ribs open, and release. And one more just like that. Lift up, feel the ribs open, and release. Nice. And now from here, we're going to start to find our way down to an extended child's pose. So come down in any way you like, but we're going to think big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat, nice wide position with the legs, and then soften everything forward. Belly, chest, and forehead are going to melt down to the ground. A nice wide position with the arms, so your shoulder blades have plenty of space to soften. And then give a little time here to let your hips settle and your butt settle back towards your heels. As you start to find a settling in position with your body, see if you can tune back into your breath. First, just notice the sound of your breath. One of the nice things about being in extended child's pose is it kind of closes up the space and makes a little cave. So you might be able to tune in and hear your breath a little bit better here. So let your forehead relax, breathing in through your nose and out through your nose. Just notice the sound of your breath. Keeping more attention with the breath, but now moving away from the sound of your breath, can you notice the physical movement of your breath within your body? We're going to stay here for just a few extra minutes. So think of this as kind of a yin hold. So we're coming into this posture cold. So it's going to get into the connective tissue and the joints rather than the muscle tissue. So just see if you can soften the tops of your thighs, soften your low back, soften the upper back body, allowing your body a little bit of time to settle in here. And then maybe see if you can notice something different. Maybe you can just feel the floor underneath you. Notice if you're holding tension in your fingers or toes, can you let those soften? Take 2 more cycles of breath here. And then when you're ready, start to wiggle your fingers, maybe rock your head a little bit side to side, just massaging out your forehead. And then if all is feeling good, we're going to start to lift ourselves up into tabletop position. So take it slow, gentle, and mindful, lifting your butt up, walking your knees back in. So we find that tabletop position. And then once you've found your tabletop position, take a second to gaze down at your hands. Spread your fingers nice and wide. And we're going to do some palm push-ups here. So we're going to press into the fingertips and let the wrists lift away from the floor and then lower them back down with control. Press into the fingertips and lift your wrist up and then lower them back down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, press into the fingertips, lift the hands up, and then lower them back down. Beautiful. And then take it down to your feet. Curl your toes under, and we're just going to find a gentle rocking forward and back, pulling your butt back towards your heels, and then shoulders back in line with the wrists. And then just take it at a fluid motion that feels good to you. Notice your toes, notice the bottoms of your feet. Awesome. Now, the next time your butt comes back towards your heels, stay here for an extra breath or two. Cool. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift back up into tabletop and take it into a crooked table. So left elbow and forearm are going to come down to the ground so we can lean slightly to the left. And then we're going to pick that right knee up and draw it in circles. Circle in one direction. And then circle the other way. Awesome. Now we're going to lift that right knee up nice and high. Let the foot fall behind you. So we find a little bit of tug through the front of the right hip flexor. Soften your jaw, soften your forehead. Take a nice big breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, set that leg down, come back to your upright table, and then we'll switch our crooked table to the other side. So right elbow and forearm are going to come down. We lean slightly to the right. Pick that left leg up, circle your knee in one direction, and then circle your knee the other way. Awesome. And then we're going to lift that knee up nice and high. Let your foot fall behind you, finding a little tug through the front of the left hip flexor. Take a nice big breath here. Soften your jaw, soften your forehead. Nice. And then when you're ready, nice and easy, set it down. Big toes together, knees together, come back to child's pose. So we're going to keep the legs nice and close. Might be a little bit of a compression in the belly, but we're not going to stay here too long. If you can, swim your hands back towards your feet. Soften your upper back body, soften the back of your neck. Take a nice big inhale. One more breath. Awesome. Then slide your hands forward, lifting up into a tabletop position. Move your hands forward just a little bit so you start to find almost a plank-like position. And then we're going to hug the elbows in towards the ribs. Lower your chest down towards the ground and then slide your legs back. Come into a little low cobra here. Beautiful. And then exhale, soften yourself down. From here, bend both knees and swish your heels a little bit side to side, inviting some softness into your low back and a little massage into the tops of the thighs. Take one more swish of the heels side to side, and then float both toes back down to the ground. First low cobra is just going to be lifting the chest. As you inhale, lift your heart. Exhale and lower down. Now we're going to take the heart in the right leg. As you inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, lower it down. Take it to the left leg. Inhale, lift your heart in your left leg. Exhale, lower it down. Back to the right leg. Inhale, lift your heart in your right leg. Exhale, lower down. Back to the left. Inhale, lift your left leg in your heart. Exhale, lower down. One more time each side. Inhale, lift your right leg up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, lower down. Nice. And then from here, we're going to take our arms out either in a cactus position or arms out at a T. That's going to be totally up to you. So we're going to start to find some scorpions. So we're going to lift up the left leg, step it behind you, touch the ground, bring it back in, slide your right hand in, left arm out, and then take it over to the other side. So we're going to take this 2 more times on each side, rolling onto your belly. Right arm reaches out. We roll over onto the right, step your left foot behind you, roll back onto the belly, left arm reaches out, right hand comes in, we roll to the other side. Beautiful. Come back to center, take it over to the other side. Come back to center, one last time over to the left. Nice, and then bring it all back into center. Back onto your belly, hands alongside your shoulders, elbows soft at your ribs. Inhale up to a low cobra. Exhale to lower down. Push your way up into a tabletop position, and then move right into a cat-cow breath once you've got yourself lined up. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale to round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. Awesome. And then just keep that going. Stay connected with your breath's rhythm. Move at a depth and a pace that feels nice to you. Take one more cycle of breath here. Awesome. And then once you find a neutral spine, we're going to step the right foot up into a 90-90 lunge. So you're going to step the foot forward and then sit yourself up so that you can situate everything nice and tight. So we're going to square up that lunge, pull the right hip crease back. Think about drawing your tailbone down, creating a little length through the front of that left hip. And then left arm is going to reach up and overhead, look to the sky, float the left hand back down. Left hand is going to reach up towards the sky, maybe look up with it. Exhale and bring it back down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale and lift up. Exhale to lower down. Awesome. And then we're going to take a little twist to the right. So left hand's going to find the right knee. Think about leveraging against that knee. So your hand pushes in, but your knee pushes out. Rotate just as far as feels good. Take one more breath. Beautiful. And then unwind. Right hand's going to find the hip. Left hand's going to reach back up alongside the ear, but then lean over to the right. Take a gentle side bend and then lift yourself right back up. A gentle side bend. Anchor into your feet so you keep nice and stable in your bottom half. Lift right back up. One more time. Bend over to the right. Nice. Lift right back up and then float your hands down to the ground. Step that right foot back in your tabletop position. Bop your hips a little bit side to side just to kind of smooth everything out. And then when you feel good and ready, left foot's going to step forward and we're going to 90-90 lunge to the other side. So you're going to find that squared up position. Make sure your legs feel good and solid. Think about drawing your tailbone down and then reaching your right hand up, look to the sky. Exhale and lower it back down. Legs nice and stable here. Inhale, reach your arm up and look up. Exhale to lower it down. Inhale to reach up. Exhale to lower it down. Nice. And now take a twist over to the left. Right hand's going to find that left knee. Push your knee into your hand, hand into your knee so you find that leverage. Awesome. And then unwind. Left hand finds the hip, right hand reaches up, side bend over to the left, and then pull it back up. Legs are nice and stable. Lean over to the left and pull it back up. One more just like that. Lean over to the left and pull it back up. Beautiful. Float your hands down to the ground. Step that left foot back into your tabletop position. Bop your hips a little bit side to side. Beautiful. And then we're going to come back to our extended child's pose. So big toes together, knees to the outer edges of your mat. Pull your butt back to your heels. Let your body have a second to settle in. Take a nice big breath. Cool. And then from here, we're going to thread the needle. So we're going to lift the butt slightly away from the heels. Take that right arm, thread it through and underneath the left, and then push into your left hand as you push your butt back towards your heels. So right ear, right shoulder, find the ground. Soften into that position. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. One more breath here. And then when you're ready, lift up slightly, unwind that right arm, and then we'll switch over to the other side. So left hand's gonna thread through and underneath. Push your butt back towards your heels, left ear, left shoulder to the ground, soften into that position, and then tune back into your breath. One more breath here. Cool, and then when you're ready, nice and easy, start to lift up and unwind. We're gonna keep our knees in that wide position, lift your butt away from your heels, swing your toes out so you get that nice wide base of support. At your hind end, left hand's gonna walk right underneath your nose, right hand's gonna reach up towards the sky. If it feels good here, you're gonna take that right hand, reach it behind you, find your left hip crease, tuck that hand in, and then draw the right shoulder up towards the sky, look to the sky, take a nice big breath. Nice, and then when you're ready, unloose that hand, float it around and down underneath your nose, and we're gonna take it all to the other side. Left hand's gonna reach up to the sky, and then if that feels good, you're gonna reach your left hand behind you, finding the right hip crease, drawing that left shoulder up and back, look to the sky, and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, release that hand, swim it around and down, taking it into a super wide puppy pose. You're going to keep your hips in line with your knees, walk your hands out nice and wide towards the top edge of your mat, and then allow your chest and your forehead to sink down. Take 3 nice big breaths here. On your next inhale, start to lift yourself up, but keep that wideness. The knees are out nice and wide, hands are going to stay nice and wide. We're going to take it into a wide downward facing dog. So you're going to curl your toes under, lift your hips up, press back into the heels just as much as feels good. And then maybe start to wag your tail a little bit side to side. So shift your hips to one side and then the other. One more little wag side to side. And then when you're ready, you're going to soften your knees, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a ragdoll fold at the top of the mat. So feet about hip or shoulder distance apart. Make a little space for yourself here. Soften your belly, soften your chest, soften the back of your neck. Now we're going to take our hands and we're going to interlace the fingers and cup the back of the head. So we want to create a little bit of a cradle and then allow that little bit of weight from your hands to kind of create a little traction. So you're going to soften the back of your neck and let your spine dangle here. Take one more breath. And then when you're ready, release your hands from the back of the head. So fingers float down to the ground. Inhale, think half lift, but we're just going to lightly straighten the legs, lift the chest and lift your gaze. So fingertips are still going to stay on the ground. And then exhale, soften all that down. Bend your knees, soften the back of your neck. And then when you're ready, do it again. Fingers stay on the ground. Inhale, think halfway lift, straighten your legs just a little bit, look forward, and then exhale, soften again. Nice. One more time, just like that. Inhale, find that little bit of lift. Exhale to soften everything down and then super soft, bend your knees, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll up to a standing position. Take your time as you come up and then take a couple of good shrugs of your shoulders and then get yourself situated in a standing position. Fix up your clothes, fix up your hair, let everything get a little good shake out, make sure all is feeling good. And then we'll find mountain pose at the top of the mat. Taking a moment here to shift the weight forward into the balls of your feet. And then shift back into your heels. Shift your weight forward into the balls of your feet. And then shift your weight back. One more just like that. Shift your weight forward. Shift your weight back. And then see if you can find that center. So slightly in the balls of the feet, slightly in the heels, big toe pulling backwards. So we find that lift through the soles of the feet. Soften your shoulders down. Find a little bit of a lifting up sensation through the front of the body, grounding down through the back of your body. Pause in your mountain pose for a second. Close your eyes down or soften your gaze and tune back into your breath. Take a nice big inhale. Nice slow exhale. One more breath. Staying nice and anchored in our feet. We're going to reach the arms up and overhead and into Charlie's Angel Mudra or our Temple Mudra. So we're going to interlace the fingers, but with those pointers up towards the sky. A nice good reach through the arms, and then just give a second to let your shoulders settle in, make sure everything feels good. From here, we're going to take it into a little side bend, but we're going to tick-tock side to side. So we want to keep our weight evenly distributed through both feet, and then start to lean to one side and then the other, and see how even you can stay in your feet. Keeping the big toe pulling back towards the heel so you feel that lift through the sole of your foot. Increasing the range of motion of your side bends only if it feels good, safe, and comfortable. Nice. Now the next time you lean over to the right, stay there for an extra breath or two, reaching a little longer through the fingers, reaching a little longer through the arms, anchoring down into your left leg. Take one more breath. Lifting through center and take it over to the other side. Reaching through the fingers, noticing the evenness in your feet. One more breath. Awesome. And then bring it back to center, unlace your hands, float your arms down, and then just pause for a moment to notice. Notice the breath in your side body. Nice. And then when you're ready, eyes open. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge at your waist, fold down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. We're going to walk the hands up to the hip crease. So we're going to walk our hands up to the tops of the thighs. Press your palms into your thighs. Lengthen through your spine. Once you found a little length there, you're going to lift your head up and down about 3 times. Just tucking the chin in and lifting the chin slightly. A little flossing through the spine here. Nice. And then head comes to neutral. Walk your hands down about 2 or 3 inches. So now we're coming towards the bottoms of the thighs where the thighs meet the knees, staying off the knee joint. A gentle press. So we're not going to push as hard. We don't want to hyperextend the knees. Finding just a little bit of length through the spine. And once you feel like you found it, nod your head up and down. Awesome. And then bring your head to a neutral position. Soften your knees just a little bit. Walk your hands down. So now we're going to find the tops of the shins right below the knee joint. Straighten your legs only if it feels good, but see if you can find a little bit of length in the spine. And then nod your head up and down again. Beautiful. Head comes to neutral. Walk your hands down. Now we're coming towards the bottoms of the shins. Option to bend the knees here if that feels like a better way to go. We don't want to yank against the backs of the legs. Create some length in the spine. And then once you feel like you found some length in the spine, nod your head up and down. Beautiful. Head comes to neutral. Float your fingers down to the ground. So super tall fingers here. Bend in your knees, lengthen your spine, and then come back to the nod of your head up and down. Awesome. And then head comes to neutral. Walk your hands all the way back up the legs. Come up as slow as you can. Take your time as you come on up. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Inhale, we're going to reach up and grab that imaginary beach ball over the head. Exhale, sink into a little tiny chair, just a slight bend into the knees, and then inhale, rise right back up. Exhale, sink down, come a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise right back up. Exhale, sink down. Think about bringing the weight back into your heels. So if you can, lift your toes Feel that looseness in your toes. Inhale, rise right back up. Exhale and sink down. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink down. This time, take it a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, sink down. Take it a little bit deeper. Inhale, rise up. One more time, we're going to sink down. We're going to stay here this time. So sink as far as feels sustainable to you so that you can hold that position and then pay attention. Draw your tailbone slightly down. So we want to feel just a little shift in the pelvis so that we feel like an engagement in the belly and an engagement in the solar plexus. Arms are going to reach up and overhead. Gaze can be slightly down if that feels more comfortable to the neck, or slightly lifted only if that feels good. Take one more breath here. Inhale and rise all the way up. As you exhale, you're going to cactus your arms, open your chest, pull the elbows super wide down towards the ribs, really crack that chest open, fan your fingers, take one good breath. Nice, and then on your next inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball. Exhale, soften your knees, fold all the way down to the ground. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, step both feet back to down dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees through tabletop. Right foot's going to step forward into that 90-90 lunge. Lift up, square up your hips. Inhale, reach your arms up. Look to the sky, nice big breath. Beautiful. Float those hands back down to the ground. Step that right foot back, curl the toes under, lift up to down dog. Pick up your heels, lower your knees through tabletop. Left foot's going to step forward into that 90-90 lunge. Come up nice and strong. Pull that left hip crease back. Raise your arms up and look up. Nice. Float your hands down. Step that left foot back. Find your downward facing dog. And now looking down at your feet in this downward facing dog position, you're going to step your feet just slightly wider than your normal down dog position, just so we have a nice wide base of support. And then we're going to shift our weight into the right hand, picking the left hand up. Can you reach through, grabbing the right calf or the ankle, rotating slightly, looking under the right armpit, take a nice big breath. Cool, and then release. Left hand's going to touch down to the top of your mat. Right hand's going to lift, reach across, find that left calf or ankle, rotate slightly, look under the left arm, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Release it nice and slow back to your down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to the top of the mat into a forward fold position. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, press firm into your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up and overhead. Hands to heart center, hands down at your sides. And as it is 7:33, if you got to get on with the rest of your day, I hope it's amazing. But if you're sticking around, we're just going to pick up the pace just a little bit. So find your mountain pose here, lifting up through the crown of your head, drawing your abdominal muscles in slightly, nice and strong. Take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale to half forward fold, hands glide to the shins. Exhale, soften down, nice bend in the knees. Step your right foot back, low lunge. Bring the knee down to the ground. Release your toes. Inhale, lift your arms up. Beautiful. And then take it into a twist, twisting to the left. Right hand finds that left knee. Leverage against that knee. Take a nice big breath. Unwind, float your fingers down to the ground. 3 half splits here. Rock yourself forward and back. Take it slow and mindful, so you pay attention to the back of the leg and you're not yanking against the hamstring and doing any harm. So we want to make sure we stay safe and kind in the body. Beautiful. One more rock forward and back. And then as you come forward, curl the back toes under, lift the back knee up. We're going to start to find our way up into a warrior 2 position from here. So if you can, pivot that back heel, let your hips rotate, lift up, and spread your arms nice and wide. Beautiful. And then we're going to move with the breath here. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend and bring it back down. Inhale, straighten the front leg, lift the arms up. Exhale, bend and bring it down. Nice. One more just like that. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bend and bring it down into peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Beautiful. And then spin your hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel. Right hand's going to stay down. Left hand's going to reach up to the sky. Nice. And when you're ready, left hand comes down to the ground. Step your front foot back to plank. Right away, lower your knees. Lower with control onto your belly. 3 low cobras here. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down. Beautiful. Push your way up into a tabletop position. Curl the toes under. Exhale up to down dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees, step your left foot back, low lunge to the other side. Bringing the knee down, release the toes. Inhale, lift your arms up. Nice, and then we'll take it for a little twist. Left hand's gonna find the right knee, right hand to the hip, rotate to the right, take a nice big breath. Beautiful, and then unwind, float your hands down, 3 half splits here, rocking yourself forward and back, just creating a little bit of length through the back of the leg, but nothing extreme. Beautiful, and then the next time you come forward in that low lunge, curl the back toes under, pick that back knee up. We're gonna find our way up into our warrior 2. So you're gonna drop that back heel down, float your way up, reach your arms out at your sides. Awesome, moving with the breath. Inhale, straighten the front leg, reach your arms up. Exhale, bend and bring it back down. Inhale and reach up. Exhale, bring it down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, bring it down. Left hand touches the thigh, right hand reaches up into peaceful warrior. Beautiful, and then spin those hands down to the ground. Pivot on your back heel so we come into that tall lunge. Left hand stays down, right hand reaches up to the sky. Nice, and when you're ready, bring that right hand down to the ground. Step your front foot back to plank. Bring your knees down, lower with control onto your belly. Drunken serpent on this side, so hands off the edges of your mat, nice tall cupcake hands. Inhale, lift your heart nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Right shoulder up and back. Inhale, lift the right shoulder and look over. Exhale to lower down. Take it to the left. Inhale, lift and look over. Exhale to lower down. Back to center. Inhale, lift your heart nice and high. Exhale to lower down. Slide your hands in. Push your way up to a tabletop position. Exhale up to downward facing dog. Look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in. Roll up to a standing position. Roll the shoulders down and back. Inhale, reach up, grab that beach ball above your head. Exhale, sink into a nice deep chair. Weight is in the heels. Draw the tailbone down, nice and firm in your center. Shift your weight over to your left foot. Pick your right knee up. Set your right foot down. Shift your weight over to the right foot. Pick your left knee up. Set your left foot down. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, cactus your arms. Open your chest super wide with those elbows, pulling them towards the ribs. Inhale, reach everything up. Exhale, fold it all down. Inhale to a half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to down dog. Right leg is going to come up into 3-legged dog. You're going to bend that knee, let the hip roll open. Nice. And then from here, we're going to pull that knee back in, floating both knees down into tabletop position, and then step your right foot forward into your low lunge. Walking your left leg back, rearranging that front knee in any position that you need to. So we want to be able to lift the chest, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. And then we're going to pull it back to half splits. Pull your hips back, peel the front toes up, walk your hands in a little bit closer, and then create some space. So we want to find some lift and length through the front of the body, and then soften your nose toward your knee. Nice. And then when you're ready, rock yourself forward back to that low lunge. We're going to toe heel that foot out super wide to the outer edge of the mat. Walk your hands inside, plant both palms, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Beautiful. And now we're going to take the right hand and step it out super wide. So super wide to the outside of your mat, off the edge of your mat, and then lift the left hand up. Think side bend, reach through the left hand, pushing the left hip forward, sinking the hips just a little bit deeper. One more breath. Nice. And then swim that left hand around and down. Right hand comes in to meet. Curl the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Right foot's going to slide all the way back to a three-legged dog. Beautiful. And then lower it, downward facing dog. Pause, take a breath, readjust anything that you need to. Left leg is going to come up nice and high. Three-legged dog, bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to release both knees down into tabletop position, stepping the left foot up and through into your low lunge. Readjust anything that you need to, walking that foot in if it feels better, heart forward, look forward, take a breath. Awesome. If the back toes are curled under, release them and then pull back into your half splits. Peel the front toes up, walk your hands a little bit closer, create some space, lift through the chest, lengthen through the front of the body, and then soften your nose toward your knee. Nice. And then when you're ready, rock yourself forward, walking it out nice and wide. So we toe heel that foot to the outer edge of our mat, both hands to the inside, heart lifts, take a breath. Beautiful. And then step that left hand way off to the outside of your mat, off the edge of your mat. Right hand reaches up. So we find that side bend. Think about pushing that right hip forward as you reach over to the side. Beautiful. When you're ready, swim those hands back around to the inside of the mat, curling the back toes under, pick your back knee up. Front leg is going to slide up into three-legged dog. And then release it with control into downward facing dog. From here, we're going to find our way into our frog pose. So for me, I like to stay facing forward and let my knees kind of slide off. But if your knees are tender, it might just feel better to walk yourself sideways so you have a little bit of cushioning for your knees. So we're going to start to walk the knees out into a wide position, just as wide as feels comfortable to you. I can take them super wide and let them sort of slide and sink down, but you stay in the safe range of motion for your hips. So knees are fairly in line with the hip, and then ankle is fairly in line with the knee. So we get a little 90-degree bend in the legs. And then once you feel like you've got a good position going on with your legs, if it's available, you're going to come down maybe elbows and forearms. If you're way flexible, you might find your belly and your chest all the way down on the ground. So you're just going to stay in the position that feels the most beneficial to you, finding a nice stretch in the hips and the inner thighs. Tune into your breath for a moment. Got about 30 seconds left here. So see if you can just kind of soften your bum, soften the outer edges of your thighs, soften your jaw. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, you're going to slowly start to walk everything up and in. If you turned yourself sideways, give yourself a second to maybe turn yourself around on your mat. Then we're going to take it into our little cow face prep pose. So right leg is going to stretch out straight from the hip. Left toes are going to swing over to the right side of the mat. Right knee is going to tuck behind the left. So we get our knees stacked, but toes pointing in opposite directions of each other. Once you've got that configuration with the leg, pull your butt back toward your heels and then come right back up. Pull your butt back toward your heels and come right back up. One more just like that. Pull your butt back toward your heels and then come right back up. Unwind your legs and we'll take that all to the other side. Left leg is going to extend out. Right toes are going to swing over to the left side of your mat. Left knee tucks behind the right. Knees are stacked, toes are pointing in opposite directions. Once you got your legs figured out, pull your butt back to your heels and then come right back up. Pull your butt back and right back up. Nice. One more just like that. Pull your butt back to your heels. Come right back up. Unwind your legs. Beautiful. We're going to step it back to a plank and lower onto the belly. So step your feet back and then gently release your knees down. Gently lower yourself onto your belly. We're going to take it into an even balancing pose. So right hand's going to slap up along the thighs, and then you're going to roll onto your right side. You're going to find a bit of a planking position here. So you're going to flex your feet, let your legs get nice and stable. Left hand can stay on the ground, but if it all feels good and you've got a little balance, really think about a plank position here. Stretch your left arm up towards the sky, find a little balance. If you've got the balance, turn your head, look up towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, left hand's going to come down to the ground, gently roll onto your belly. Give a second to wiggle out that right arm. And then we're going to take it all to the other side. So left hand is going to slap up nice and firm against the thigh, roll over onto your left thigh. Give a second to find a good position for that bottom arm. Flex the feet, get a nice planking position going on so there's a firmness in your center. And then if it feels good, extend your right arm up towards the sky. If you've got that balance, turn your head, look up towards the ceiling. Nice, take one more breath. When you're ready, float that hand down to the ground, gently roll onto your belly, push your way all the way back to extended child's pose. Big toes together, walk your knees out super wide, pull your butt back to your heels. Take 3 good breaths here. Keeping your butt back toward your heels, we're going to walk the hands up and in. So we come into a nice upright position. Hands are going to come behind the back. We're going to squeeze the shoulder blades, lift the chest. This might be enough of a back bend here, just finding that nice lift through the heart space. But if it feels good and you want just a little bit more, you're going to lift your hips up away from the heels, pressing the hips forward, squeezing between the shoulder blades. Let your head drop back. If that feels comfortable, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, slowly, gently, mindfully release your butt back down. Arms come forward. We're going to just spin the legs out to one side and swing them out in front of us. Nice long legs. Scoot yourself around just so you get comfortable on your mat. And then legs nice and long, but with a little softness in the knees. Take a nice big breath up. Exhale, reach towards your feet. Slide your hands up the sides of the legs, up the side body, up the armpits, the back of the neck. Reach your arms up. Exhale, reach towards your feet. Slide your hands up the sides of the legs, up the side body, up the armpits, the back of the neck, reach up. Nice, one more just like that. Reach toward your toes. Slide your hands up the side body, up the armpits, the back of the neck. And then float your hands down, scoot your butt forward, roll your way down to the ground. Once you found your way down, just give a second, get yourself situated. Fix your clothes, fix your hair, do the thing, do the human thing. And then we're going to take it into a figure 4 from here. So right leg is going to come across the left. We're going to lift the left leg up, see how it feels to thread your hands through, but with sort of a light hold. So we're not going to hold on too tight or squeeze it in. And we're going to start to draw some circles with that left knee. So we're taking our figure 4 into a little bit of a circular pattern. Just going as far as feels good. Noticing your breath, noticing your hip, noticing your low back. One more circle around in this direction, and then circle your figure 4 the other way. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bringing it in for a squeeze. So right elbow is going to press into that inner thigh. You're going to draw the legs into a level that's comfortable to you, making sure you're maintaining some soft shoulders, soft jaw, soft cheekbones, and then nice softness in your breath. Nice. And then from here, we're going to switch our grip. So you're going to release your hold from the back of the thigh and swing your left foot in. See if you can reach your right hand around, catching hold of that left foot with your right hand. And now you're going to release your right leg up towards the sky as you drop your left knee down towards the ground. So your left foot is coming towards your right butt. And then you're going to float the right foot down into any position that feels comfortable. And then give a second to let that left knee lengthen towards the end of your mat. Soften your hips, soften the front of that left hip, soften your jaw. Take a nice big breath. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, release your hand hold, pull the right knee up into the chest, pull the left knee up to meet, give yourself a light little squeeze. And then when you're ready, release feet down to the ground and set up your figure 4 to the other side. So left leg is going to come across the right. We're going to lift up into a loose hold position. So you're going to grab the back of the thigh, and then we're just going to draw that figure 4 in circles, go in one direction. Nice. And then draw your figure 4 in circles, go the other way. Beautiful. And then let that circling come to stillness. Pull it in for a little squeeze, softening your shoulders, tuning into your breath. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, releasing your hold from the back of the thigh. Left hand is going to reach around the outside of the left thigh. Swing your right foot in. See if you can catch hold of your right foot. And then once you've got hold of that right foot, release your left leg up towards the sky. Drop your right knee down towards the ground. So it's a slightly externally rotated knee. Knee is reaching down towards the end of the mat. And then the left foot is just going to float down to the ground anywhere it lands and feels comfortable. And then find a little softness through the top of that right thigh, a little softness in your breath. Take one more breath. And then if you're holding onto that foot, go ahead and let it go. Pull the left knee up towards the chest, bring the right knee in to meet. Both knees come in, give a light little squeeze. And then we're going to float those feet up into a 90-degree or little reverse table. Arms are going to come out at a T. We're going to drop the knees over to the right and let them sink all the way down. Left shoulder is going to stay as grounded as it can. Right hand's going to find the outside of the left thigh. Press your thighs down as you press your left shoulder down, and then turn your head to the left. Take a couple nice big breaths here. Cool. And then when you're ready, release your hand from your thigh, head turns up to center, pull those knees back to center, and then drop them over to the left. Let them sink all the way down. Trying to maintain that right shoulder connect to the floor. Left hand's going to find the outside of the right thigh. Press the thighs down, press your right shoulder down, head turns to the right. Come back to your breath. Beautiful. When you're ready, head turns to center, release your hand from your thigh, float both knees up, pull the knees into your chest, give yourself a light little squeeze, maybe a little rock side to side. And then just to bring a little bit of fluid back into the hips, you're going to float your feet down to the ground, toe heel your feet to the outer edges of your mat. Take a couple of gentle windshield wipers here just to make sure the spine and the hips feel nice and happy. And then start to tune in and notice, where would be your best Shavasana today? Would it feel good to come into constructive rest, reclined cobbler's pose, more traditional Shavasana shape, or any other shape that might feel good to you? Take a second to just kind of tune in, notice how your body's feeling. And then when you feel ready, start to find your way there. Give a moment or two here to just let your body find its way, softening into a position of stillness that makes sense to you. Allow your breath to return to its natural rhythm. Eyes closed or gaze soft, totally up to you. Feel the floor beneath you and then just allow a little relaxation, relaxing your arms, relaxing your shoulders, releasing any gripping you might be holding in the hips, the butt, or the belly. Start to bring your awareness back into your body. Invite some gentle movement into your fingers, your toes, your wrists, and your ankles. And then if it feels good, maybe a little turn of the head side to side, bringing some movement into the cervical spine and massaging out the back of your head. And then inviting any other movement in that feels good. And if it feels really great, maybe finding your way into a good morning stretch, stretching your arms up and overhead, reaching your legs long, reach through the fingers and toes, bring a little length into your body. Take a nice big breath here. Awesome. And then in your own way, at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. You can rock and roll up. You can roll onto one side, anything that gets you there but feels good. Nice. And then just take a second to find your way into your seat. Wiggle into your sits bones. Find that nice, tall, lifted spine, head, heart, hips all in line, shoulders soften down. Flip your palms so palms are open facing the sky. And then with your eyes closed or just soften your gaze. See if you can just tune in to the cool air on the skin of your palms. On your next inhale, pull your fingers up toward your chest. And with those light piano fingers, we're just going to tap lightly up and down towards the breastbone and then up into the collarbone. So just a gentle tapping up and down. Eyes can be closed or eyes can be open. That'll be totally up to you. But if you like, take a minute to just tune in and notice. Notice that sound of tapping in your breath. And take one more little tap up and down. And then when you're ready, prayer hands together at heart center and Anjali Mudra, and bow your head to your heart, bowing your mind to your body. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And take one more nice big inhale. And as you exhale, just let your shoulders soften. Think about releasing or letting go of anything you're holding on to that won't serve you through the rest of your day. And gently lift up through the top of your head. Gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday.